Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, Earth Angel Tarot. And in today's Isis Unveiled reading, we are going to be taking a look at what deity wants to connect with you. Okay, so this could be a deity that you are familiar with in this lifetime, or that you could have worked with before in a previous lifetime. Okay, so we will take a look at what messages they have for you and what it is they could be trying to help you manifest. Okay, and so they are going to show up in this reading today because they would like for you to call on them for guidance. All right, and so these are the three images for the reading. Go ahead and see which one of these images calls out to you the most, which one you feel like you resonate with the most, and whichever image that is, that will be the pal that will have messages in it for you. Okay, my loves. So happy picking. Hello, my beautiful pal number one. And so this is the image that you chose, that you felt most connected to. All right. And so now we are going to take a look to see which deity wants to make the connection with you. Okay. Which deity may have been calling out to you. All right. So let's go ahead and get started and see which deity has showed up. All right. And you guys have the Avalon Priestess. All right. With intuitive awakening. Yes, and I feel like you guys, this group, just as the card says, you guys may be in an awakening process, okay? You are a part of the timeline shift that's happening, okay? So your soul is urging and pulling you out of the 3D way of thinking, the 3D way of being, and calling for you to step more into your, I'm getting priestess self. All right. So some of you may even have a priestess calling. But yes, so you're definitely being called to some type of awakening. Okay. And so with the Avalon Priestess showing up here, this is a sign of who you can work with. Okay, who you can work with that's going to help illuminate your path. Okay, to help you illuminate. I keep hearing priestess path for you. Okay, because there's also two moon symbols here on this card. All right, and the moon card and the tarot signifies things being revealed. Okay, well, things being hidden. All right, but the priestess is things being revealed. All right, so there's definitely some things that are meant to be uncovered about who you are on a soul level, and you may be feeling that. You may be feeling it. Pal number one, you may have certain nudges that you feel, or you may have certain instincts or intuitions that you currently feel. And so, yes, this is your soul pulling you away from the 3D so that you can step more into your spiritual self, okay? So that you can step more into a spiritual way of being. All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what the Avalon Priestess message says from the book. So let's see what this one says. Okay. And so it says, the ethereal touch of the Avalon Priestess comes as a reminder that you're an inherently intuitive being. She whispers soul memories of your inner psychic gifts. Meditation, retreats, and sacred silence are needed to activate your third eye chakra and open up channels between yourself and spirit. Your life may be changing to accommodate the intense process of awakening dormant priestess skills. This applies no matter your gender identification. If you frequently draw this card, it means your soul carries experience of priestess abilities. Yes, and this is why the priestess word kept coming up to me. All right. And it says, you're ready to see the worlds beyond the veil once again. Yes. And that is what the high priestess does. The moon, as you can see, I told you the moon symbols are here. They usually hide. But the priestess, specifically the high priestess, comes in to reveal, okay, to remove the veil. All right. And it also says the unlocking of your intuitive energy has a great impact on your life because it's a soul rebirth. An enormous recalibration of your energy system is at work. Your third eye has been blocked or damaged for aeons, so be patient with the healing process. If your question is about how to proceed with a situation, this card asks you to pause, reflect, and listen to your inner voice. Don't take action yet, as there's more truth and information that needs to surface. All right. Yeah. So, and the invocation for this card is I safely activate my intuitive gifts. I see sacred truths. Yes. Yeah. So, just as I was getting, some of you guys may be meant to walk the priestess path in this lifetime. Okay. And you may be someone who's currently on doing that. All right. As myself, is that's kind of the process that I am in as well. Or you may have even had previous lifetimes where you were priestess, okay, priest or priestess. And so now those things that were once dormant in you around that is beginning to awaken, okay. And you guys, I feel like this pal, I get the energy that this is something that you are aware of, okay, but there may be confusion around it, all right, because I always tell people that when they picture spiritual awakenings, they picture it as a smooth, easy sailing type of process, and it is actually quite the opposite, all right. So there may be a confusion around what's going on in your life right now, and this is why you're being called, where you're being asked to call on the Avalon priestess to help you, to give you the insight and clarity that you need around this. Okay. But let's see what other messages will come out for you. Look at this, guys. We have hidden secrets. All right. And what did I just say? The moon signifies things being hidden, right? And this showing up, the hidden secrets, is clarity around the fact that the veil is beginning to lift for you. Okay. The veil is beginning to lift for you around who you are on a soul level, right? I feel like there's this energy of you may be someone who always knew that there was more to life than what meets the eye. Okay. And you're now beginning to fully awaken to what that is. Okay. But the hidden secrets message on the card says things around you are not what they appear to be right now. All right. And it says hidden agendas, unknown, mixed conception, misconception. All right. And so this is, I feel like this is the world in general, right? I feel like the 3D, right, that we live in, like there's a mask around the truth. There's a mask around what it is or who we are as a collective, as a whole, right? We're all taught to be in this 3D as just humans, and that's it, that's all, right? So that's obviously a very limiting belief system, right? Because it doesn't allow you to soar and reach who you are capable of being on a spiritual level while in the 3D. Okay. And that's what's most significant about the priestess path. The priestess path teaches you how to live through the spirit in human form, right? So this is you merging your spiritual self while in the human form. So walking the priestess path is to pretty much walk in God-like form while here on earth. Okay. But the way that the world is set up to teach you that you're only a human, so everything is limited, right? And so when you step out of that way of thinking and being, you are able to then really reach your highest potential. All right. And so what's being unveiled to you right now, pal number one, is the hidden secrets around this agenda. Okay, and you guys may be feeling that on a soul level. And as when I was reading the book, one of the messages was that things may be a little bit uncomfortable for you right now. And that happens, pal number one, to shake things up so that you can rid yourself of the people, places, or things that's going to be distractions along your path, distractions, and people who get in the way while you're trying to open up yourself to this other way of being. Okay, so any uncomfortable situations that come up, whether it's through a job, a relationship, friendship, whatever, those things happen or take shape or take form so that there can be exposure around those things that are not meant to carry on with you. Okay, and then you guys also have dream world. All right. And it says it's never too late to dream a new dream. There's still untapped possibilities. All right. Dream messages, daydream, wishes, and hopes. Yes. So this is fulfillment for you guys. This is fulfillment, letting you know that you are capable of reaching your potential. Okay, so the Avalon Priestess wants you to know that you are capable of reaching your potential. All right, and with Dream World coming up, this could be also a form of communications from your spirit team. This could be how they communicate with you through your dreams. So what I would suggest is that, especially if you are someone who experiences things such as lucid dreaming, begin a dream journal. All right, begin a dream journal so that as soon as you wake up, you just jot down whatever it is that you remember. Okay, I'm getting, even if it's just one word. Okay, and maybe look up the symbolism around what it is that you recall and that you write down. Look up what those different meanings are, or even make your own intuitive connection to those things so that you can interpret any messages that may be trying to come through to you in your dreams. Okay. And then you guys have messenger. Okay, and it says you receive messages from the universe. Yes, and this is what I was saying with the dream world. There could be a connection to whatever you dream about, your spirit team communicating to you. Okay, and so this is why it may be important for you all, if you don't already have, but to start a dream journal. Okay, and so the rest of the messages says, okay, so you receive messages from the universe and distill them into messages that can be received by those who will benefit from them. Yes, and this is also part of walking a priestess path, right? So not only are you receiving messages from the universe, you're meant to be a messenger yourself. So the things that you receive, your part of your priestess path would be to relay those messages to the rest of the world, right? And so I just got to help awaken others. All right, because this, I feel like, especially with the message of dormancy and the book, meaning there's some dormancy around your DNA when it comes to this. And once reactivated, pal number one, this is when you're going to really be able to fully step into your true path and your true calling. Okay, so that you can help to awaken others. Okay, help to awaken those, the rest of, the world who you have connection with, who may still be in a slumber. Okay, help them to see beyond the veil, help them to see through the 3D, right? So your mission, I'm getting pound number one, is to help awaken others. Let's see what else we have. You guys have magnetism. Okay, and it says your aura is very powerful with a natural ability to attract people and the right things and situations to you. Yeah, so you are a great manifester, or at least you have the ability to be a great manifester, pal number one, with this magnetism coming up. And you, as the card says, you have a very powerful aura. And I feel like with the Avalon Priestess showing up, it's like almost like, she's asking you, are you ready? right? She's asking you, are you ready to fully step into this power? Are you ready to go through the full awakening process? All right. And those of you who this resonates with, you will know exactly what this is because you've probably been feeling it for a long time, right? You've probably been feeling that essence of yourself for a long time. And now you're ready to step out of that dream state and to actually begin to live, to merge the two, right? Merge your spiritual being with your human being. Okay. And but stepping, trying to step fully out of the 3D way of thinking and being. All right. So you may be someone who has pretty much just seen what the world is for its truth, right? And not easily falling for the disguise, not easily falling for the mask that it puts on to cover up its mishaps or its misdeeds, right? And so now you're being called to fully step into that enlightenment that you have around yourself and that awakening that you have around yourself so that you can help to awaken others. All right. And then you also have emotional healing. All right. And so this is what you're manifesting along with this emotional healing. And it says, old wounds healing, release emotional baggage, seek support, self compassion, focus on the present. All right. And so this is, I feel like with this emotional healing coming up, this is going to be you stepping into this energy is going to be a big release for you in a way where a lot of times when you go through spiritual awakenings, you are forced to kind of go through the dark night of the soul as well, right? You are kind of forced to address the shadow side of self as well. All right. And so by doing so, this is helping you purge those things that you no longer need, especially on an emotional level, emotional level, right? Because emotional baggage is some of the heaviest baggage that we as humans can carry, right? Physical, I don't want to say, but when we encounter physical problems, for the most part, we heal from that a lot quicker, right? But when you go through emotional problems, that's a baggage that tends to be carried the longest and is the heaviest, right? Because it never fully recovers. Most of the times it's just swept under the rug. And so when you're going through that awakening process, you are forced to, I don't even want to use the word force, but you are really called to address those things that you may have tucked away on an emotional level, because that is heavy baggage and burdens that keeps you from fully stepping into your true purpose and your true power. All right. So this connection to this calling for you to connect to this new energy comes with you also being able to heal emotionally. Okay, so this is past wounds, old scars, old hurts, and what old traumas also, in whatever area that fits in your life. You're being called to address those things to help you not only fully emotionally heal, but to also step into more of your priestess energy. All right. The priestess path is very strong for this pal. So you guys are definitely being called to that type of energy. And so the emotional healing is what's going to need to take shape and form in order for you to fully attach to that priestess type energy. All right. And so now we'll take a look at what tarot messages wants to come out around what this is. So thank you, beautiful beloved Mother Goddess Isis, as well as the Avalon Priestess that has showed up. What additional messages do you have for pal number 1? All right. So yeah, so you guys are meant to, oh, look at this. Look at this. You guys are meant to answer the call. You have judgment. They came out. So you guys are definitely, this pal is definitely going through a spiritual awakening. All right, you guys are definitely going through a spiritual awakening and are meant to walk the priestess path. All right, you guys are definitely, you guys are here, you guys are meant to help awaken others. All right, you guys are meant to help people step out of the 3D way of thinking, being and more into them awakening to who they are on a soul level, on a spiritual level. All right, you're the messenger that's sent here to do that. All right, and so before you can do that, though, you do have to go through your own emotional healing in order to fully step into that power. All right, so whatever emotional traumas or wounds or hurts, past hurts that you're holding on to, pal number one, it's going to be important for you to release those things. Okay, release those things. And I also just got meditations around emotional healing. Okay, meditations around emotional healing, as well as journaling or writing down your dreams, okay, to see what messages come through from that as well. All right, you guys have the ability, you already have a very powerful aura, you have the right magnetism, all right, to draw in what you want to manifest. All right, and so once you enlighten yourself even more, how number one, you're going to see then that people are going to be drawn to you. People are going to be drawn to you as if they know that you are the one that can help them through whatever situations they may be currently going through. All right. So once you enable yourself to get in the right energy and the right aura, then you will attract those to you who are on a spiritual awakening journey as well. All right. The Page of Wands. Yes. The explorer, the adventurer. All right. The one who's going to go out and seek, okay, go out and search for his truth, right? Look how he has this big magnifying glass here, right? He's going to go out and search for his truth. And this is what the Avalon Priestess wants you to do. Search for your truth because it's been hidden for so long. All right. It's been hidden and it's been dormant. It's been hidden and it's been dormant. And this is, like I said, with the two moon symbols showing up here, as I noticed earlier, that is what it does. The moon hides things, all right? Things that are not quite yet ready to be revealed. And so it is your call, pal number one, to go out to explore and search for your truth. Search for not only your truth, but search for the truth. All right, and you I feel like this pal knows exactly what this energy is, right? You know that there's more to life than what meets the eye. You know you have a deeper calling and a deeper mission than what you have been brought up or taught to do, right? Living in the 3Ds or the society's way of being and living. You know that there's more power for you to step into, and you just haven't quite figured it out yet. As I was saying earlier, there is confusion around it, but part of that clarity being brought forward, pal number one, is going to be for you to go through that emotional healing journey, okay, and making the connection with the Avalon Priestess. All right, and that could be also to say just making connection with the priestess archetype or the priestess um energy overall, okay. And look at this, guys. You have the devil in reverse. Yes, I love this showing up like that because this is clearly you coming out of that illusion. All right, this is you coming out of the matrix, stepping out of the matrix, stepping out of the illusion. So this is just so fitting and so perfect, right? It's because you're really beginning to explore who you are on a soul level, on a spiritual level, right? So that you can fully step into your power of being the messenger. because you're here to help awaken others. Pal number one, you are here to help awaken others, and for not only to get yourself out of the matrix, right, but to help get others out of the matrix as well. All right. And you, oh, right. And so then, yes, and once you lighted, or once your aurora once your aura grows even brighter, pal number one, you're going to realize the people that's drawn to you, right? The people that will be drawn to you because of the need of whatever assistance they may need in their life. Like it's like you're going to have a natural radiant light around you that's going to draw people in, who's going to be asking for assistance on different type of levels, because they're going to feel drawn to you like a magnet, right? And so this could be, this could actually be going on for you right now. You may be someone who people are automatically drawn to, because like they feel your aura, they feel your light, and they feel like you are someone who they can confide and trust in. Okay. All right. And then you guys end with the King of Wands. And I love it because you go from the Page of Wands, right? Someone who's beginning to explore their spiritual path, and you end it with the King of Wands, someone who is fully stepping into their power, marching to the beat of their own drum, living off of passion, right? And not being afraid to march to the beat of your own drum, right? And you're going to be surprised at the many followers you're going to pick up. As you can see, he starts off here as a single man moving to the beat of his own drum. And as he moves and plays that drum with passion, he's going to pick up a lot more people along the way. Okay. And that's what you're meant to do. Pick up people along the way, pal number one, to help assist them with their own spiritual awakening as well. All right. And so this is what the Avalon Priestess showing up wants to make you aware of, that it is okay for you to now fully step into your priestess power, your priestess path, your priestess energy. And even if it's not necessarily priestess related, just your overall spiritual energy, as well. All right. And then look at this. So I have the Remember Your Divinity card. And so the message for you all is cut cords, okay? Retract, call back your power. And this is exactly what you are being called to do, is to call back your power. And the images are almost similar, what she has on this cloak. And this one has on the same thing as well. So the Avalon Priestess is asking you to call back your power, to remember. This is what you're being asked to do, to remember who you are on the soul level. All right. You're going through your spiritual awakening process, and it is for a good cause and a good reason. And it's time for you to reclaim your power so that you can not only liberate yourself, pile number one, but also help to liberate others. All right. And so this is what your calling is for you. All right. Okay, my beautiful pal number one, that is what I have for you today. Really hope you enjoy. If so, please like, share, comment. Also, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, my loves, take care and bye bye. Hello, my beautiful pal number two. So, this is the image that you chose, that you felt mostly drawn to. Okay, and so now we'll go ahead and take a look to see what deity has showed up for you in today's reading and what messages they have for you. All right, and so you guys have Kodesh, all right, with sexual wisdom. All right. And what I'm getting with this pal number two is that you guys are being called to step into more of your feminine energy. Okay, you guys are being called to step more into your feminine way of being. All right, and to possibly tame the masculinity that you have been carrying for so long. All right, with the lion here on the side, right? And that's, look how she has the lion kind of cool, calm, and collected, right? So I feel like you guys are being called to tame your masculine energy and step more into your feminine presence. All right, some of you may have had walls built up around yourself to kind of not only protect your energy, but to also protect your emotions. All right. Some of you may have been emotionally scarred in the past, right? Causing you not to fully trust people, not to fully let people in, right? You've put this wall up and you've kind of separated yourself from everyone else because you don't want to experience things that you have experienced in the past, right? And so there's this wall there, and I feel like with the sexual wisdom card coming up, you are being called to lower the wall and step more into a more feminine and inviting presence. Okay. And this may be even around relationships. Okay. For those of you who are resonates with, some of you may have sworn off relationships, right? You're through with relationships because of past hurts, past mistreats. I'm getting, or just overall letdown. Okay, so Kadesh is showing up here, inviting you to explore that side of yourself again. Okay, inviting you to learn to loosen up a little bit more again. Whereas you may have been someone who was like that in the past, but someone who has been scorned, of course, would now view things differently, right? Especially when it comes to allowing themselves to be open, energetically as well as emotionally. Okay, so now let's see. I'm going to take a look at what the Kadesh um, meaning says from the book. So let's see what that says. Okay, and so it says, when Kadesh shows up, this could be a time for you to explore sacred ecstasy, rituals, or to work with a sex therapist or relationship counselor, or to communicate your sexual needs to your partners. All right. So this is a time for you to connect, pal number two. All right. This is a time for you to connect and grasp on to really exploring more aspects of your feminine self. Okay. And so Kadesh is the deity that is showing up that can help you to make that connection. All right. And so now let's see what other messages we have. So you guys have wise insights. Okay. And it says, learn to trust your inner wisdom and continue onwards, trusting this knowing. All right. And it says, intelligence, deep wisdom, oh soul. Okay. What I'm getting with this is that you guys are very much so seasoned, right? You're very seasoned on, I feel like, a soul level as well as a human level with this wise insights coming up. But I do feel like this, you guys are not allowing yourself to explore that part of yourself. And I do feel like it has to do with past connections. I'm even getting like past traumas, right? That has kind of sealed and blocked this wise insights off, right? And so now you're being called to, once you embrace um, the more feminine aspect of yourself and kind of let down that shield or that wall that's up and kind of tame the masculine part of yourself, this is going to allow for more love and nurture to come through. And when more love and nurture comes through, power number two, this is when you make the connection to your true authentic self. Because right now, I don't feel like with this power, a lot of you are not being your true authentic self. You're being just a part of yourself that you've chosen to show to the world, right? And it has to do with because things that you've went through, right? And you may feel like people don't even deserve to see your true authentic self, or you may have even lost sight of who you are in that form, right? Because you've been kind of stuck in this masculine energy for so long. And so when you make the connection, this is part of, you're being called to liberate yourself. Um, in that aspect, right? And when you make the connection to liberating yourself and allowing you to be you, no longer, shielding yourself from the world, this is when you step into that deep wisdom and the intelligence and all those things that's going to help you to make the spiritual connection you need to thrive. All right. And look at this, we have bitterness. Yes. And this is what I was saying. Like, some of you guys definitely have shielded yourself, your true, authentic self, because of things that may have happened in the past, right? That cause bitterness. All right. And the message says, what seems to be as bitter trials are often blessings in disguise. And it says trauma, hurt, anger, hostility, unhappy. Yes, this is exactly what I was picking up, guys. Is that you guys have put this wall up, you have put this shield up around yourself, not allowing people to experience who you are, from an authenticity. I can't even say the word, let's just say authentic point of view, right? Because you've been through some hurts, and you've been through some traumas, and you've been through some letdowns, and even I'm getting some regrets in the past, right? And it caused this bitterness about yourself that kind of caused you to lose sight of who you really are. All right, with this wise insights, right? Maybe you feel bitter because you felt like you didn't trust your best judgment back when whenever took place, right? And so you kind of maybe even guilt trip not just others, but maybe you guilt trip yourself as well. Okay, because you feel like you are an intelligent person, you should have known better. How could you fall for whatever the situation or scenario was? How could you fall for the trap, right? And so it caused this anger that you haven't fully let go of yet. All right. And this is why this bitterness card is showing up here, because you guys are still attached to that. Okay, you guys are still attached to that energy, and the situation may even be long gone, and even the person who caused the situation may be long gone, but that bitterness energy is still there. All right, and Kadesh showing up here is going to show you how to tame that masculine bitterness energy, and so that you can step back more into your feminine aspect of self. All right, someone who's more loving, someone who's more nurturing, someone who's more caring, and also someone who's more in tune and in touch with self, right? Like I say, I feel like you guys, this pal, you guys have lost sight of yourself. You guys have lost sight of who you are, the great person that you are, because of a situation in the past that has caused some heartache, some, I'm getting even despair to you, and it left you with bitterness, a bitter taste in your mouth, bitter energy still around you, right? And because it also caused you guys to lose sight of yourself. And even I'm like, as I'm saying that, I'm looking at the image on this card. It's like these, I don't even know what they are that's covering her eyes, but the point is that they are covering them, right? And there's no sight there. So you guys have definitely lost touch, lost sight with your authentic self, all right? And this is what Kadesh wants to pull back forward. You stepping back into your power, and you stepping back into your authenticity. I finally got the word right, okay? And reigniting that flame again, because I'm being drawn to the flame here in the background of this image, all right? And so you guys also have Wayshore, okay? And it says you're meant to be different, so you may show others the way by simply awakening to and living your truth. Yes, and this is you showing up. um I'm getting showing up and showing out, right? Pal number two, showing up and showing out, right? Just really making that full change about yourself, letting go of that bitterness, going back to the person who you were at one point in your life, going back into that positive energy, even maybe awakening your sexual desire in a way that is not only comfortable, but in a way where you're confident. All right. And this may be captivating to others, right? This may be with this way shore showing up. This could be like people really being surprised at the change or the turnaround that you do, right? And so instead of them looking at you as someone who, a lot of people, and this is what I'm also getting, a lot of people look at you as being a bitter person. They see that about you. Okay, so for whoever that resonates with. So when you make these efforts to clean your act up and clean yourself up in a way where you're like, you know what, you're no longer going to let those past hurts affect you, and you make the efforts to make the changes about yourself, it's going to lighten your energy and lighten your load, and you're going to become an evolved person, right? And so people are going to really look at you and be like, man, this person really did a complete shift, like a complete change. And so for some, that may be motivation, right? That may be you showing others that no matter how much heartache or past issues or dramas that you dealt with, that doesn't have to define you, and you can still live life again. And so you might be an inspiration to someone else when they see that you're capable of that, see that you were capable of making that shift, okay, about yourself, stepping back into a lighter form of energy about yourself. All right. And then we have healer. Okay. And it says, realize that the adversity you experienced in life was only to awaken your healing potentials so that you may help others in their time of need. Yes. So healer, with the healer in the way shower showing up, you are meant to show others the way by being a walking, living example, right? You being the walking, living truth that you are able to bounce back. All right. So maybe some of you may be motivational speakers. Maybe some of you may take things that you've experienced in your life in the past, and as you're going through the healing process, um, you may get like this idea to want to not only now help yourself but help out others. So you may feel like you want to branch out and be some type of motivational speaker around, whatever area it is that, resonates with you. All right. But of course, that wouldn't be for everyone. But that is a way of kind of getting your word out there and showing others that they are able to overcome any of their challenges, any of their obstacles, any of their traumas. All right. And you would be the walking proof and the walking example of that. All right. But it's going to start with, and I feel like what I'm getting with this is that those, as the card says, those different things that you did experience, power number two, that has left a bitter taste in your mouth and has like caused you to have like this bitter energy around you. It was, obviously, most things, if not all things, happen for a reason. All right. And that's to say that it knew that you would build this wall up. Okay, it knew that you would build this wall up, especially around your emotions, right? It knew that you would build this wall up just so that your spirit team can come in and help you to tear it down, if that makes sense, to show you how to tame the energy. So not letting the energy, so working with the energy rather than having the energy work against you, right? And so this is why those things, that may have happened took place, so that you can learn how to work with that type of energy. All right, so you can learn how to heal from that type of energy, right? Your spirit team, your spirit guides, they knew this wall would come up once these situations happen. So the lesson to you and from them is to how to bring that wall down, how to work with that energy in a way where you take control of it and you don't let it control you. All right. And you step in more into your feminine energy and more into aspects of yourself that you lost, okay, or that you let go. All right. And so you doing so, it's not going to only heal you, but for some, you are also meant to heal others as well in the process. Be the way shower, showing them that there is a way to regain a sense of self, regain a sense of sight of who you are, or who, whoever you would be working with or helping, who they were, who they once were. All right. And then you guys have new home. All right. And what I just got with this is a fresh start. Okay. Definitely a fresh start. But let's see what the message says. It says your dream home is manifesting. Trust the process. Research, establish budget, welcoming environment. Yes. So, and this is what I pick up with this energy, with this new home card. It's definitely a change of scenario needs to happen. All right. Some of you may still have attachment. Some of those past hurtful attachments, or I'm sorry, I should say, some of those past hurtful encounters may still have attachment to where you currently reside, right? Some of the things that you may have experienced that wasn't so uh, happy, right? Or that caused you the most heartache or the most disappointment, you may still be attached to that energy through still being in the place where it took place at, right? And so this, with this new home coming up, I'm definitely reading it as a change of environment. Okay, that's going to help change the energy. All right. And for some of you, I'm even getting this could be a separation. Okay, separation from a spouse. All right. Where there is needed where a new change of environment is needed in order to separate from these energies. Okay, especially around these bitterness energy. All right. And you step in more into your wise insights energy because you've lost sight. Okay. And you're not able to find that old version of self because of the attachment that's still there from the environment that you may be residing in. All right. So I also just got fresh start. Some of you definitely do need a fresh start around shifting this energy. Okay. Fresh start, new environment, fresh environment in order to help shift this energy. All right. And so remember, Kadesh is showing up here as the one who can give you that clarity and insight around being able to work with your feminine energy. Okay. If you're ready to start tearing down those walls, okay, you're ready to start living life again, and maybe even romantically, right? Some of you definitely have a guard up around romances or relationships, right? Because you've been scorned or you've been hurt in the past. So you have probably vowed, right, to not deal with uh, others, at least for a long time. And so Kadesh is going to be there to help you to kind of to break free of that masculine energy, right? The one that is restricting you and not allowing you to allow hope, light, and love in again, right? So I'm not really familiar with Kadesh. I don't know if you are, but if you're not, then she may be someone who you want to look up and see, just see what her history is and how it is that you can work with her, because she's calling on you at this time to help heal that feminine energy around you, okay, because of the masculine wound. Okay, not to say that someone that hurt you was masculine, but there's a masculine wound where you just have this very standoffish, domineering type blockage up. All right. And so now we'll take a look and see what messages the beautiful Kadesh, as well as my beloved Mother Goddess Isis, would like to provide to you as well, okay, around these energies. So what else do you have for PAL number 2? What else do you have for PAL number? Oh, there are like flying out the deck. So there is a lot. Yes, and so I love the 2 cards they came out, guys. So, I mean, they literally almost flew across the room. But you guys have the Queen of Wands, right? The Queen of Wands is definitely you gaining your power back. I love this showing up. Like, I love this Queen of Wands in this reading, because it's like the Queen of Wands is someone who's very confident, who's very charismatic, who's very just like in tune with herself, right? And she knows the energy that's wrapped around her is very captivating, right? She knows how to captivate others. And so with this Queen of Wands showing up, and I also feel like the Queen of Wands represents a good balance of being masculine and feminine, right? So this is what you guys need. You need that good balance between being masculine and feminine. Um, and so this is what I feel like you guys are going to work back up to being, all right? And look how she has that sunflower there illuminating, right? So you guys being able to shine once again. And also, so guys, you are not going to believe this. But look, we have the strength card that also popped up here. And I say you're not going to believe this because look at this here. What is the odds of both of these cards coming out? And they have very similar characteristics, right? The woman taming the lion. I mean, like, so this is definitely Kadesh showing up in this reading, and I love it, right? Taming that masculine energy, getting back to the more feminine aspect of yourself, and just really allowing yourself to shine. All right, Queen of Wands here with this sunflower, right? Taming that masculine energy, gaining a sense of self all over again, putting those things behind you that has once wounded you or hurt you in some type of way, and just really stepping back into the true nature of yourself. Because I feel like you guys, you definitely lost sight of yourself. So I do feel like you were once someone who was bubbly, maybe, spontaneous, just lived life. That's, I feel like that's the energy you once possessed, right? Someone who just loved and lived life, and you know just living on a high, right? Positive vibes, right? But then these things came through, or these happenings came through, that caused this bitterness energy. All right, that caused this bitterness energy that kind of caused your light to dim. And look at this. I was saying earlier too, with this flame here, it was time to reignite who you are, and be passionate about who you are. All right, and so this is this is yes, pile number 2. This is definitely you stepping back into that energy, right? And this is what Kadesh wants to do. She wants to help you step back into that energy. All right, tame the masculinity and allow more of your feminine energy to come through. One that's going to allow you to love again, and one that's going to allow you to invite in others again. All right. So as to say, if you've been shielding and cutting and blocking people off, especially romantically or in terms of relationships because of past hurts, she wants to help you to get back into that energy where you can invite others in again. All right. And so not only do you have the Queen of Wands, you also have the King of Wands showing up here. You guys are definitely meant to step back into your power. All right, you guys are definitely meant to step back into your power, to regain a sense of self. All right. And I'm also getting some of you guys may have even let yourself go, like appearance wise. Like you're not like really, into what you look like in terms of what you wear, your hair, your makeup, because or in this it doesn't have to be gender specific, right? Just male or female. Like you've let yourself go um because of because you've lost yourself, as I've been saying throughout the reading. You've lost yourself, right? And so with the queen and the king of wands showing up, guys, you guys are really ready to step back into owning it. Okay, owning it, owning who you are, and really getting rid of this bitterness energy. Okay, healing from the inside and out. All right, being a way shower, showing people who maybe have went through similar situations as you, showing them that there is a way to evolve, there is a way to heal, there is a way to move forward. Okay. All right, and look at this, guys. We have the king of swords in reverse, and I love this because the king of swords is someone who's normally very analytical, very critical, right? And especially when it's in a reverse, right? It's almost like a tyrant. So with this showing up, I feel like this is you letting go of that masculine energy, these lions here, right? And being more compassionate, right? The king of wands, and letting go of that over analytical, over critical type energy. All right, stepping out of that because it was leading you nowhere, right? It was just like taking you through the loops, right? And I say loops because she's literally holding a needle, right? And there's a little hoop in there, obviously for the thread to go through. And so you guys have been like going through the loops that was leading nowhere. And so now you're stepping out of that energy, power number two, and stepping more into a compassionate, loving type energy, right? Being passionate about life all over again. That's also what the wands represent. Being passionate about life all over again. You have like lights and flames everywhere here, letting go of that bitterness energy and stepping more into a lighter version of yourself energetically. Okay, one that's more feminine, one that's more loving, and one that's ready to love again. All right. And so remember, Kadash is the deity that showed up for you in this reading. So this means that she is trying to make the connection with you and being able to guide you out of this bitterness energy into a more loving one. All right. And so lastly, I have a remember your divinity card here. And you guys have this one here, which is number 5. I don't know if you can really see that, but it says your spirit team is hanging on to your every move. Yes, they're hanging on to your every move. They're watching you, they're guiding you, and they specifically want to guide you out of this energy where you have lost sight of yourself, right? That you've lost sight of yourself due to past situations. And so they're watching your every move to give you those right little inklings or the little breadcrumbs that's going to help you to move away from that energy. Okay. So just be mindful of things or occurrences that happen or come up. That's going to be a sign that they are helping you to move through this. All right. Okay, my beautiful pal number 2, that was your reading. Really hope you enjoyed. If so, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, my loves, take care and bye bye. Hello, my beautiful pal number 3. And so this is the image that you felt mostly drawn to. All right. And so now we'll go ahead and take a look to see which deity showed up for you in this reading. And you guys are actually the only pal that got 2 deities that showed up for you. All right. So we'll take a look to see who those are and what messages they have. Okay. And so the first deity is Oshun. All right. Sweet success. Okay. And the second deity is Thoth. divine masculine. Whoa, those are some very, very, very powerful energies coming through. I just got the enlightened one. All right, that's just what came through, the enlightened one. And I'm loving the duality here with both feminine and masculine energy being present. All right. And this is why you guys could be considered the enlightened ones, because you've learned to merge and balance the two. Okay. You've learned to perfect the balance of the feminine aspect of yourself, as well as the masculine aspect of your being. All right. So we have Oshun here with sweet success, and Thoth with the divine masculine. So there's definitely success on how you carry yourself, how you put yourself out there to the world, the wisdom that you have, not only for yourself, but that you are able to reflect out into the world, right? And help and guide others in different forms or fashion. Okay. um yes, very, very strong divine energy coming through. But let's take a look and see what the Oshun message from the book says, as well as the Thoth message. Okay. Okay, and what I'm even getting before I go to the book description is that you guys are like the perfect epitome of being able to merge both the 3D and the spiritual, right? So you guys know how to actively walk a divine path while here on earth. So you're very, I feel like you have very heightened aware type of senses that you are aware of. Okay, so you guys could possibly work with your clairs a lot. You guys work with your intuition a lot. You guys are pretty much, I'm getting like very divinely in tune. All right, this group is very, very divinely in tune. All right, so you don't have a strong connection to this 3D, to being here on earth. You are aware of your spiritual essence and your spiritual being, and you have learned, or could be in the process of learning, how to merge the two existences. Okay, so this is what I'm getting, the energy that's also coming through. Okay, and so the message says, you've been working hard for a long time, and Oshun, Yoruba goddess of creation, has been watching you. She sees your efforts and knows what it takes to juggle countless demands alongside creating meaningful work. You're a sacred feminine creator, in tune with the source of all things, says Oshun. The time has come for your creations to be birthed with ease, just as I gave birth to the first people on earth, she declares, leading you to a river gushing with the energy of prosperity. Release thoughts of lack into Oshun's flowing waters. It's important that you do this, as the universe is moving you into positions of leadership. Okay, allow yourself to be richly resourced and wildly successful in all your creations. Old beliefs about scarcity and patterns of undervaluing your time and energy are being washed away by Oshun's river. Wealth in all forms flow to you. Claim your throne of divine feminine influence and lead with love. Okay. And then the invocation is, my creations generate rich rewards. I accept sweet success. All right. And then the Thoth message is, your purpose is to activate the divine masculine on earth. This mission will take you into numerous life lessons and personal trials as you heal your own heart and awaken to your spiritual wisdom. You have the capacity to lead by example and become a noble teacher for others. When Thoth appears, it's a powerful message of healing through personal responsibility and stepping up to a sacred duty. You're healing wounded masculine energy, which shows up frequently in men but can be present in women or other gender identities. Examples of wounded masculine energy are fear of being vulnerable, living only in your head, inability to be present, numbing yourself with addictions, being ego driven, controlling or dominating others, and emotional unavailability. A soul teacher is coming into your life, embodying divine masculine qualities, clear communication, self inquiry, and understanding, connection to emotions, reverence for the awakened feminine, responsibility for actions, and connection to spirit. Okay, drawing this card can point to healing the relationship with your father also, and this will help you claim your soul's purpose. You're trusted and appreciated. Your awakened masculine light is needed by the world. Yes. So we do have, as I stated from the beginning, you do have to both the feminine and the masculine divine energy showing up here. Okay. And as I initially said, this is because you guys have been working on yourself to a point where you are able to successful or have been able to successfully merge the two, right? Which is not always common because some people lead from more of a feminine aspect while others lead from more of a masculine aspect, right? And I feel like you guys are in a spot where you are, if you haven't already mastered balancing the two, you are in the process of learning how to balance the two, how to work with both the heart and the head, right? And not letting one overcome the other. Okay. And it is for the purpose of you not only healing yourself, but helping to heal others as well. All right. But let's see what else we have. Okay, so you guys have the divine sun. All right, a lot of divinity going on here. And it says the energies of success are around you. Recognition and praise is headed your way. And it says success, happiness, illumination, and power. Yes. And so this is the second card that has this word success in it, okay, or that speaks of success. So you guys are very, pile number three, whatever venture you guys are on, okay, in regards to building success around yourself, it is going to be a very positive outcome. Okay, it is going to bring very happy endings. Okay, it's like success is wrapped all around whatever it is that you aspire to do, and it's because you've got a good level head about yourself, right? You've got a good level head with being able to merge your divine principles in terms of your feminine and divine, right? So you're someone who can step into a leadership role and not abuse your power, right? So you're someone who can help others through communication, but without being overly domineering or dominant, right? So you definitely have a hold on your energies overall, is what I feel like. All right. And this is why things are going to work out for you because you've balanced yourself. Everything else around you is going to balance out as well. All right. So, whatever you have your hands on right now, power number three, um, whatever ventures, okay, whether it's through work, projects, um, building a family, I'm getting whatever it is that you guys are setting out to do, there is going to be success around it. All right. And it's because you've healed and because you've worked on yourself, is what I'm getting. Pal number three, you guys have healed and you've worked on yourself. And so you're being rewarded. Okay, and this is why the energies of success are around you. Okay, this is why you're going to be recognized and praised for any talents that you have, especially in a workplace, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner, maybe not now, but you want to be. You're going to get recognition for all these things because you've put in the work. All right. And so this is what Oshun showing up for and Thoth showing up for, is wanting to bring to your attention that all positive vibes are written all around you. Okay. Positive vibes are written all around you, and you just have to trust the process. Okay. Keep flowing in the direction of positive energy and just continue to see where it leads you. All right. And then you guys also have nature cards. You are also the only group that got three of these cards instead of two. All right. So you have nature calls. And it says, spend time in nature before making a decision or taking your next step in life. All right. And it says, outdoors, breathe, wait, and recover. All right. And what I initially got with this nature calls card is for you all to ground yourself. And I do feel like you have the ability to do that with both these feminine and masculine energy showing up. You do have the ability to recalibrate when you need to. All right. You know how to step away when you need to, like emotionally and mentally. I feel like that is something that you guys have a hold on. All right. You know how when you just need to step away and have your me time, have your self time, because especially when decisions have to be made, or just overall when things are just beginning to become a little bit hectic, right? And so you know when it's time for you to pull away. And so nature calls showing up is just a point out to you that when things do start to feel like they're shifting or becoming a little chaotic, or the energy is a little bit off, learning how or knowing when to ground yourself. Okay. And part of grounding yourself could be just having a walk in nature, hugging a tree, walking barefoot in grass, just to calm those energies down. All right. And then you guys have mechanical self. Okay. And it says, undo the many layers of conditioning and restore your original essence. Conditioned, unconscious, routine, habitual. All right. And so this is very interesting. So I feel like this is what you guys are wanting to come out of, this mechanical self, right? So this is like that um, very routine type of person, right? Day in, day out, same type of routine. And so this is weak, but I feel like with the Oshun and thought and the feminine and masculine coming up, like you guys have a good balance. Like you guys are level headed in a sense, right? You guys are very level headed in a sense, but you're also being called to break out of that, as the card says, the conditioned way of thinking and being. So even though you may be someone who is level headed, that does not make you non robotic, right? That does not make you non mechanical, right? And so I feel like you're being called to kind of liberate yourself from that way of being, because you feel like that's how you have to be in order for things to flow effortlessly. And you're being called to liberate yourself from that type of being and step more into this divine sun energy, right? The one where things just flow to you, right? Because the energies of success are all around you. So you don't have to be cookie cutter in your actions, seeking success. You can just really go with the flow. As the Oshun message said in the book, just like she has this river of water that you can just put all your doubts or worries or fears into and just go, let it go with the flow. And so this is what you guys are being called to do. Step out of the mechanical self, right? And where you're living, like, how when someone is like routine, it's just like they don't even have to think twice. It's like almost unconscious behavior, to where what is happening on its own, right? In a sense, because you do it to the T, the same all the time. And so you're being called to step out of those patterns. Okay, step out of those cookie cutter patterns and go more into the flow. All right. And then you guys have astral magic, and it says you can easily navigate the mystical and the cosmic by harnessing that power and making your spells and rituals even more powerful. Sorry. Yes, so you guys definitely have a connection with the divine. All right, you have the connection to the divine, and this is like you have this connection. Like I just feel like you are like an earth angel, right? You're someone who's aware of your divine essence and divine being while you're here on earth. Because most humans here on earth think they're just that. They're human and they don't think anything else about it, right? They don't even dive or delve into anything extra, especially when it comes to spirituality and the many layers of it. But I feel like you all know who you are on a divine level. And you guys have probably worked years over years, not just in this lifetime, but other lifetimes as well. But in this lifetime, more so, years upon years of really getting yourself balanced, right? Learning how to merge the divine with the feminine, the spirit with the human. Like you guys have really worked on yourself in terms of that. Okay. And so with this astral magic showing up, it's letting you know that you're there. You have the ability to navigate, okay, beyond the 3D form. Okay. And by harnessing in your power, all right, calling in your power to help you to manifest whatever it is that that you desire. All right, you have the astral magic to be able to do so that you don't have to feel like you have to be this living in this mechanical state of being. Okay, where you're, because the mechanical state of being is actually the human living in the matrix. That's what the mechanical self is. The mechanical self is the human living in the matrix. And so you're being called to pull yourself more so from that 3D attachment, which I feel like you won't have a problem with doing, and that you're not fully attached in that way. But there are routines about yourself that makes it as such. All right, so you're being called to unplug even more from the matrix and step more into your magic. Okay. All right, and you guys have clear tangency, and I think I mentioned earlier that some of you may work with clairs. Okay, so this is one of the clairs showing up for you. And clear tangency is you have a natural ability to know meaningful and pertinent information when you touch things or people. All right, so this is one of your magical gifts. All right, this is one of your magical gifts, and it just brought me back to when I said about the nature call card, hugging a tree, right? So even you just hugging a tree, you have the ability to absorb the energy from that tree, and that too in turn is what will help you ground yourself in times of hecticness or chaos. All right, so you have the ability to gain information, to know meaningful things just through touch. POW number 3. Okay, you have the ability to do that just through touch. And so that circles back to the nature's calls card. Is when you feeling like you're losing sight of self, right? And you're struggling between the divine part of you and the mechanical part of you. Learn how to work with nature in a way, even through touch, that can help you to balance those energies again. Okay, to help you to ground yourself again. But you definitely, I really feel like for this POW is that there is a sense of understanding around this for you all. And it's just being in the 3D sometimes tests our ability to be able to navigate more so into our spiritual essence and being. And so this is why it's going to be important for you to really grasp on and make the connections more so with your spiritual self at this time. Okay. But I do feel like there's definitely a balance overall. All right. And then you guys have luxury. Okay. And it says, life of comfort and abundance is here. Network with rich people, enjoy fruits of your labor, invest in quality over quantity, elevate self-care, and travel. Yes, and this is all tied into the success that's already set up for you guys. POW number 3. There's a success that's set up around you that is meant to be in place as it is. All right. And so this is why you don't need to work with the mechanical self, and you need to work more with your divine self and just go with the flow. So you would call on Oshun to help you to navigate your feminine principles that will allow for you to go with the flow. And you would call on Thoth for his clarity and his insight in times of not knowing, or in times of confusion, or times of where there's like this lack of confidence, right? So you have these two deities who's coming through for you, saying that they can help guide both of your energetic principles, okay, both the feminine and the masculine. All right, because they're with this luxury card coming up here, you guys are almost like guaranteed sweet success, even though you may not be able to see that right now, or that the fruits of the labor haven't paid off yet. Is you guys are meant for a life of luxury. Okay, and one that I'm getting, one that's going to be definitely more so tied to your spiritual essence than it is to the human essence. And I get more so from that is that whatever you, let's just say some of you have um, a spiritual path that you want to go down in regards to work. Okay, whatever you, maybe you're a healer, a medium, tarot reader, spiritual coach, whatever it is that you do in regards to the spiritual nature of self, and you decide to do that on a work level, it's meant to bring you success around that. Okay, it's definitely meant to bring you a life of comfort and abundance. So even though it may not feel like it now, it is something that is going to pay off for you in the future. All right. Because there's definitely some like I was saying earlier, there's definitely some psychic abilities, some psychic gifts, some intuitive gifts. There's a lot of divine gifts around this pound. All right, and that some of you may be thinking about, you know, taking it to the next level in regards to being able to reach out to others and help others through it in a form of work. Okay, and it is going to be something that is going to be a benefactor to you. Okay, but now let's see what tarot messages wants to come out in regards to the reading. So thank you, beautiful beloved Mother Goddess Isis, as well as Oshun and Thoth, who has come through for this reading. What additional messages do you have for pile number 3? All right, so we'll take a look and see what additional messages they have around this. And we have the moon here. All right, and the moon is about not all things being revealed, right? And things not being fully clear. And so this is, for me, is just saying that you guys, it's like you know the way, but you don't, because your path is not fully illuminated quite yet. And this is why it's going to be important for you all to go with the flow. All right, so keep yourself balanced and go with the flow, because even though you feel as if things may feel uncertain at this time, they want you to trust the process. All right, and we have the Six of Swords. Yes, so trust the process even though we can't see the road ahead, right? And this is what the Six of Swords is also. It's just leaving behind the what's no longer serving you, and moving into the unknown, or moving into the uncertain. All right, and we have the King of Cups here, so being emotionally balanced at the same time, and Eight of Swords, and removing yourself, okay, from the mechanical self, right? The Eight of Swords is all about feeling like you're entrapped when you're not, and it's usually an ego trap. It's usually a mental trap. All right, it's never really an actual trap. And so this is where you're moving out of, right? So the King of Cups, okay, which what to me represent the divine feminine, and then the Eight of Swords obviously would be the mental aspect. This is where you guys are meant to gain gain understanding around. So King of Cups would be you just having that emotional balance, and Eight of Swords would be you having the mental balance. All right, merging the two, and this is what's going to help throughout your transition. Okay, learning how to nurture and merge the two. Okay, this is what's going to hiding, okay, any type of abilities that you have, any divine abilities that you have. All right, so continue to move forward even though the path may not seem clear and things may seem uncertain. You're being called to continue to go with the flow and trust your process. All right, call on Oshun for guidance around the sweet success. Call on Thoth to help you to balance your divine masculine. Okay, because divine masculine, if overly active, right? This is it leads to the Eight of Swords. Okay, so it's like mental entrapment because of overthinking or self doubt, all of those things. So it's going to be important for you to know how to give yourself an equal balance in this process on your divine path. Like I feel like you guys know you're on this divine path, and you know you have a divine purpose and a divine calling, and there's spiritual work that needs to be done on your behalf. But things sometimes get a little blurry. Okay, things sometimes seem a little shady in a way where you're like, you question it, you question yourself. But there's definitely magic there. There's definitely potential there, especially around you putting in the work, not just for yourself, but to help others. Okay, and this is what Oshun, you may know who she is if you work with her already. If you don't, feel free to look her up and learn a little bit more about her, especially since she came up for you in this message or in this reading. But this is what she's here to help you with. And Thoth, of course, a lot of people I would think are very familiar with who he is, but he's here to help give you, help you to gain the clarity you need, all right, so that you can continue to be level headed, all right, and if you're not there, help you to get there, all right. And so lastly, I have a Remember Your Divinity card. And so the message for you guys is you guys have Memento Mori. All right. And it says, remember that you must release your old self. Yes. And so this is just to say that you have to let go of an old version of yourself in order to allow the new version in, right? Let go of the mechanical self in order to let the divine self in, right? Learn how to just go with the flow and trust the process. All right. And this is the energy I definitely pick up on, is what you guys are being called to do, to go with the flow and just trust the process, because you guys are this pal is guaranteed success around something. All right, and so you're just being called to believe and trust not only in the process but in your own magical abilities, okay, and processes. All right, so that is all I have for you, my lovely pal number 3. Really hope you enjoy. If so, please be sure to like, share, subscribe. And until next time, my loves, take care and bye bye.